What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, you guys probably saw last time I did a video over Monte Carlo here, and it was about, you know, top 5 things I didn't really like about it too much. God, everybody's driving right now. You probably can't even hear me, but in today's video is gonna be a top 5 things I don't like about my Cobalt right here. Again, this is almost like kind of like an informational video. It's almost like a before you buy, if you guys were to like take it as that. So I mean, that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. Pretty much the same premise as the Monte Carlo video here, but instead it's going to be with the Cobalt. So let's pop the hood and then we'll get right into the number. I think we'll do number 5 to 1. So 5 will be like least, and then number 1 will be like the number 1 thing I don't like about it. So let's get right into that.
Just a wee bit dirty under here.
Alright, so number 5. Why did the cameras bug out? So number 5, which is the less serious, number 5 is going to be styling of the Cobalt. Now, I'm not in any way saying it's ugly, because I genuinely don't think it's ugly, but at the same time I don't think it's the coolest looking car either. Like, I've seen people do like wide bodies on these and they're okay looking, but honestly I think my biggest problem with these cars is from the end of the door, so the beginning of the quarter until right before the taillights start, right here. It's a little bit too bubbly for me, honestly. Like if you go over to the Monte Carlo, you can see, you guys can't even see, but it's not focusing, but you guys can see what I mean by how it's not as bubbly. It swoops down. Wow, focus, you hunk of shit. Damn. You guys can see, it swoops down. It's more flat right here. You know, it's not very bubbly looking. It starts up there, it goes, and the trunk has a little bit of, you know, length, and then you got the spoiler that kicks up right there. On the Cobalt over here, you guys can see roof line right here, and it doesn't start swooping down until about here. You're almost at the back, you're at the rear wheel, and then it finally starts swooping down, and then the trunk is so little, such a short distance from here to here. That's it for the trunk, and then that massive spoiler, full rice. So it's definitely number 5 for me. Definitely the styling. It probably doesn't help that the paint's absolutely destroyed on this car, so I can't get a good view of what it would look like, you know, properly done with good paint, good body lines. You see there's a crease right here, other side's got a crease like right here. You know, there's a little bit of rust on it, but like in terms of styling, not really there for me too much. So number 4 is kind of styling. I guess you could kind of relate it to styling, and it's the wheel choice here. So my problem with the wheel choice on these cars is that this is almost identical to the Monte Carlo's wheel, if you cannot tell clearly. Like the Monte Carlo's wheel, Cobalt wheel. They are almost literally identical wheels, and apart from their coloring, they are the same design. I think there's a very slight difference in these wheels. They might curve in a little bit more than the Monte Carlos do, but pretty much same wheels. I know they're the same year, but they should have been distinguished more. I guess as the SS, they also use the same SS badges down here. All they did was throw a supercharged one underneath the SS. So a lot of the SS's from these years use similar stylings throughout their SS family, I guess you could say. Also brakes, it kind of goes hand in hand with the wheels. The brakes also, I've heard many people complain about the rotors warping, you know, prematurely in these things. So that's a definite concern, because when I got these, there were no rear pads and the rotors were destroyed in the back. Front ones aren't too far from that condition, so probably I've already bought rears, rotors, calipers, and pads. I'm gonna have to end up buying the same thing for the fronts probably eventually here, and the car still looks like this. Bad angle. Let me get a better angle. like this. It needs to get either wrapped or painted. Probably just scuff it and paint it the same black it is. You guys, this smudge mark has been bothering me forever. It's not a smudge mark, it's in the paint. Whoever painted this car did the shittiest job known to man. All right, so number 3. Now, you guys might be kind of like remembering what I said. I think it was number 3 on the Monte Carlo list as well, was the front end styling, the front end of this car, and how it was super similar to like an Impala. Now, this front end, it does not look like an Impala, but it looks like a Cobalt. Obviously, it's a Cobalt SS, but they should have done a much better job at distinguishing. Yet again, distinguishing is the key factor in SS package stuff, or in like a Mustang, a GT package stuff. Making it look that much better, that much different, that much more distinguishable between the baseline models. This, besides that little splitter down there at the bottom, is the same one that's on a regular Cobalt. Might be a few differences here and there, but overall, same thing. And the fact that the headlights are so faded doesn't even help with that. It makes it look even worse. All right, number 2 has to do with the interior. So I don't have to hop in for you guys to see this, but of course, you guys know the Cobalt SSs were equipped with a 5-speed manual, and it's obviously in a front-wheel drive application. Now, obviously, you have your shifter and then your parking brake right there. But there is no center console. Don't mind this. This tape is actually from the guy who had it before me. He just thought it'd be better to put the same color tape on it. But the problem is when you hop in it, like, here, I'm sitting in it right now. Here's my arm. There's no armrest, right? This is usually down, and there's no armrest. Hand is usually on the shifter, you know, switching, going between gears. But if you're not, like if you're just in 5th gear, just cruising, you're gonna want to put your hand down on something right here, and there's nothing to put it down on. That is a big complaint of mine, how there is no center console. Then again, it's hard to really put one in here because of the handbrake, but it's just a complaint of mine. Ever since, I remember when I first got the car, I was actually really bummed out about that. And my number 1 complaint with this car is, yet again, just like the Monte Carlo, the fact that it's front wheel drive. This car is obviously a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder this way, right? Wait, let me see the camera. This way. But they threw an Eden supercharger on it right here. It can spin the tires easily. This 4-cylinder can spin the tires pretty easily, and the tires still have a good amount of tread left on them, as you guys can see, and they're probably not. But if this again was in a rear-wheel drive application, if this power plant was to the rear wheels, again, this would be so much more fun. Every car, if it was rear-wheel drive, is just so much more fun. Front-wheel drive cars are not fun. Any of them. None of them. You have torque steer problems. You can't kick the ass end out. You got, I guess the only thing they're good at is a straight line burn. If you're trying to do any kind of like, you know, track or anything like that, when you stomp on the gas, it's gonna wanna go straight. So you have to have like an iron grip on that wheel if you even wanna do a track, and what's the point? It's still front wheel drive. It's not that much fun. Another thing is, I believe it was very rare. They think for a while they did make these with a SS 4-door version of these Cobalts, like the 4-door Cobalt, but it was a sedan with the supercharger, everything else under the hood the same. And those are extremely rare. Those are extremely rare. I have not seen one ever. That's probably gonna conclude my list today, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. If y'all did like the video, please subscribe, hit the like button. I'll have another video out next week for you guys, and it will be over Monte Carlo, because there is actually not too much, you know, time before that has to go into storage yet again, like I mentioned last year, around this time as well. Usually it's like, if I'm lucky, mid-November. So again, video coming on the Monte Carlo. You guys be looking forward to that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.